In this video, we'll be talking about basic probability and some basic concepts to understand how probability works. Well, what is it? Probability is the likelihood that an event will happen. Will it happen? Is it impossible to happen? Let's say if we roll a dice, it's impossible to get a 0 if there is no 0 on the dice, or 7. There is no, that's kind of like possible or impossible. 7? Is there a 7 on the dice that has only 6 faces? No, that's impossible. But to get a 5, maybe. You could get a 2, maybe. So, is it impossible? That would be 0. Unlikely, it's anywhere from 0 to 50%. So it's just kind of like maybe, maybe not. 50-50 chance is to toss a coin, didn't get heads or tails. That's a 50-50 chance because there are only 2 possibilities to toss a coin. Likely or certain. So likely, maybe it could happen, and certain means happens for sure, right? So to calculate the probability, you count all the possible outcomes and then count how many times the desired event happens. So you can write our probability as a fraction or percent. For example, if we have a 6-faced dice, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are the only possible outcomes that can happen by rolling any dice. So if I have 6, what is the probability of rolling the number 6? The number 6 is just one number out of 6 possible outcomes. So the probability to roll the 6 is 1 out of 6 possible outcomes. If we put that in the calculator, we have 1 divided by 6, which is about 16. So we have 0.16. If we round up, approximately 17%. 17% on the scale from 0 to 1. So that will be about right here. So it's kind of like almost impossible. It's very unlikely. What's the probability of rolling an even number? Well, the even numbers here are 2, 4, and 6. So 2, 4, and 6 are 3 possibilities out of 6 total on the dice. If I simplify that, dividing by 3, 3 divided by 3, 1, 6 divided by 3, 2, that is 50% chance. So we have 50% chance to roll a 2, 4, or a 6. If I divide 3/6 in the calculator without simplifying the fraction, I still have that 0.5 or 50% chance. What is the probability of rolling a 5 or 6? So 5 or 6 are 2 faces, 5 and 6, out of 6 possible outcomes. And simplifying by dividing by 2, 2 divided by 2 is 1, 6 divided by 2 is 3. That will be about a third or 33%. So dividing 1 by 3, after the decimal, hundredths place, we have 33%, approximately. 33% is still below 50, so about maybe like right here, 1/3, and then it is unlikely to get 5 or 6, but there is still slight chance, 33%. What is probability of getting a 7? There is no number 7 on this die, so we have 0. The probability of getting a 7 is 0 out of 6 possible outcomes, which is 0%. You cannot get a 7. 7 does not exist there. So that is impossible. see more examples. For each problem, count the total number of outcomes. For instance, if I have a coin, there are only 2 outcomes that can be happening. So number of outcomes is 2 when we toss a coin. Then count the number of desired events. So the number of desired events is in the directions. Let's say in the directions we have probability P to get tails. Tails is 1 side out of a 2-sided coin. So 1 out of 2, half or 50%. When we roll dice, we have 6 possibilities, 6 total outcomes. Total number of outcomes is 6. Question: P, 1 and 2. In other words, what is the probability to get 1 or 2? 1 and 2 are 2 events that we would like to happen out of 6 possible. Simplify, divide by 2, and that's approximately 33%. It's unlikely, but it could happen. If I fold this, it is going to be a 12-sided die, so that means there are 12 possible outcomes. Question: what is the probability to get 9, 10, 11, or 12? So what is the probability of getting 4 or 1 out of those 4 from the 12 possible outcomes? I can simplify. So 4 12s, I can put in a calculator and have 4 divided by 12, which is approximately 33%. So round it to the hundreds place, the number after the decimal. Or I can simplify first by dividing by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So that's third chance, which is exactly 33% if I divide 1 by 3. So we can simplify the fraction or not. It's converting to percent, same percentage. So 33% is before 50, let's say about right here. So it's still unlikely to get one of those possibilities, 9, 10, 11, or 12, out of the 12 possible numbers on this die. Spinning. We have on the spinner how many sections? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 9 total outcomes. Total number of outcomes is 9. The question is, what is the probability to spin 1, 2, or 3? So we have 1, 2, or 3. That's the section right here. That's a pretty large section out of the circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 9 possible. 6 nines. If I simplify, or I can divide right away, 6 nines, 6 divided by 9. That will be 66 behind the decimal, but with the 6 behind, we can round it up to 67% chance. See, it's more than a half, so approximately 67% chance. That's more than half, so maybe like right here, 67. So it's likely to get a 1 or a 2 or a 3 because it is higher than half or more than half chance of landing on those numbers. I can simplify this fraction by dividing by 3. I have 2/3. And if I divide 2/3 in the calculator, 2 divided by 3, that's 67% as well. In the deck of cards, we have 52 total outcomes. In other words, 52 cards. The number of outcomes is 52. The question, what is the probability of drawing a heart? There are 13 hearts in a 52 card deck. 13 out of 52 is 25% chance. So it's a fourth of a deck. 25% is right here. So it's unlikely to draw a heart at random. It's possible, but it's not very likely. So unlikely, just 25% chance. If I simplify this, 13 is a prime. 13 divided by 13 is 1. 52 divided by 13 is 4. So it's a fourth of a deck, quarter chance, 25% chance of drawing a heart. Unlikely. We have a coin again, flipping a coin and getting heads or tails. Well, in the coin, there are only 2 chances. Out of the 2 chances, what's the chance to get a head or a tail? That means 2 possible events out of 2 possible outcomes. Well, that means 100%. For sure, you're going to get either heads or tails. Rolling a die and getting a number greater than 2. The numbers greater than 2 are 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we have 6 possible outcomes. And there are 4 numbers greater than 2. So the probability of getting a number greater than 2 is pretty high because there are a lot of numbers greater than 2. 4/6 can be reduced to 2/3. And 4/6 is about 67%. Pretty high chance. Pretty likely. The problem before here we had certain 100%, right? So we have a 12-sided die, and that means we have 12 total outcomes. What is the probability to get a 7, 8, 2, 3, or 11? 7, 8, 2, 3, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 12. 5 out of 12. 5 divided by 12. It's approximately 42%. 5 out of 12 is almost a half. Half would have been 6 out of 12 to be equally likely. 5 out of 12 is a little bit less than that, so maybe like right there. So it goes from unlikely to almost equally likely to get 42%. One of those numbers, 7, 8, 2, 3, or 11. On our spinner, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 total outcomes. What is probability of getting a 5? 5 can be here or here, 2 possibilities out of 9. 2 nines is pretty low chance. Let's see how many percent is that. 2 divided by 9, approximately 22%. And see how it's a small section of a circle. 22% is slightly less than 25. So it's pretty unlikely. Drawing a king from a deck of cards. The full deck of cards is 52. Total outcomes or cards. The number of outcomes being 52. And to get a king, we have 4 kings. So it's 4 out of 52. Pretty low chance to draw a king at random, huh? So 4 out of 52, it's about 7, rounded up if we look at the 6 behind, so it's approximately 8% chance. 8% chance is pretty unlikely, almost impossible.